campaign co-chair, and it was a different story, of course, for the Democrats. And I wonder how you see things, especially as the aftermath is playing out in public for us to see on the Democratic side.
Well, first, Dana, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's win is a big deal. The fact is that they flipped 5 states. I mean, I know that the certification is still pending, and they had more votes than anyone in history. It's very hard, as you know, to beat an incumbent president. That rarely happens. So overall, it's a success. But obviously, we didn't do as well in the House as we expected. I think we need a stronger economic message. And
one of the things is this question about the progressive left, right? And did their messages carry much more weight? As you just heard Tom Emmer saying that it did certainly help them with Republican candidates being able to run against that. Here's something from Rashida Tlaib from Politico, in which she said, "We're not going to be successful if we're silencing districts like mine. We are not interested in unity that asks people to sacrifice their freedom and their rights any longer. And if we truly want to unify our country, we have to really respect every single voice." Now, she's saying that, from the left side of things. And then you have somebody like a Congressman Clyburn saying that the message of defund the police actually really hurt Democrats across the country.
Well, then it's a tough issue. We're trying to become a multiracial, multi-ethnic democracy. There are different views. What I will say is that the Black Lives Matter movement, I think, helped the Democrats more than hurt, because you had record turnout in Milwaukee and Philadelphia and Atlanta. And a lot of that activism was sparked after George Floyd. But I, of course, support law enforcement. I think we have to support them and recognize their importance in the community. Clyburn supports that. Joe Biden supports that. So I think we have to be clearer that the Democratic Party does support law enforcement, but we want to make sure that there's accountability.
Do you think that Speaker Nancy Pelosi should consider or even accept an appointment from the Biden administration if she were to decide to join the administration rather than to continue as Speaker? Would that be good for the Democrats?
Well, she was incredibly successful as a speaker when President Obama came into office. I expect that she will have the support of the caucus this time. There hasn't been anyone else who has even raised their hand to run. So she said this is going to be her final term, and I think she will be Speaker and will be effective.
Do you plan on heading to Georgia to see if there's any way that the Democrats can win those 2 Senate runoff seats?
I'm all in there. I've been talking to several of the groups and organizing over Zoom. I don't know if I'll physically head there, but everyone in Congress on either party is focused on Georgia. I think it's going to be as consequential, frankly, as the presidential election.
What do you think about this notion that Democrats are considering moving to Georgia temporarily, where the residency rules allow you to do it so that they could be there in order to vote on January 5th?
I don't think we should do that. I don't believe we should be trying to game the system in that way. We have the votes there. We should mobilize people there. But I would not condone someone moving to Georgia to try to register. That's not the spirit of our democratic process.
Khanna, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
Thank you, Dana.